So, welcome to the National Baseball League. Alright, these are the games for August 6th. At least this is board number 1. So, we're going to go left to right. Alright, so, left to right, top to bottom like usual. So, second of a 3-game series, the Utah Raptors and the Las Vegas Gamblers. And the game winners win 8-7. Pretty close game here, back and forth the entire time. Vegas wins it. They get that one run like in the 7th or the 8th, and then they lock it down for the rest of the game, and they beat the Raptors 8-7. Really good job defensively for Vegas late in the game, which is impressive that they're able to get this win. So 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Las Vegas Gamblers. For the Utah Raptors, 7 runs, 9 hits, and an error. So Utah does make a mistake that probably what lost them the game. Series tied, 1 apiece. So then we're going to go to the San Francisco Firebirds and the New Orleans Gators. So pretty crazy game here. Put zeros there. Pretty crazy game here. As the San Francisco Firebirds, they have 20 hits in this game. 20 hits. 12 runs, 20 hits, no errors. For the Firebirds, 20 hits. And they won it 12-9 over the New Orleans Gators. And they lead the series 1-0. Good start to a series for San Francisco. Now, in New Orleans, their defense, yikes. Giving up 20 hits is just bad. The pitching staff, that is something that needs to be fixed soon. Then we head to Montreal, and Texas, the Montreal Expos host the second game 2 of the 3-game set against the Texas Twisters. Montreal, pretty good fight back in this one, as they're able to put 3 runs, 7 hits on the board. But their defense doesn't necessarily make up for it, as they give up 4 runs, 11 hits to the Texas Twisters. So the Twisters they get just enough to win. They do commit 2 errors, but they still win the game. Montreal Expos, they commit an error of their own. Montreal took game 1. And then Texas, they respond here. They're taking game 2 in a very close matchup. Then we had the Tampa Bay Titans and the Toronto Huskies. Pretty fun game offensively, 13 hits apiece, but the runs didn't really seem to show it. The Toronto Huskies score 4 runs to the Titans 5, no errors for either team. And that's wrong. That should be Tampa Bay, TB. Leads 1-0. That's what that should say. That's wrong. It should be TB. Tampa Bay opens the series 1-0, not Toronto. Mistake there. I make mistakes, okay? I'm not perfect. So what the heck's hair? There's hair. No. So very sorry about that. But we're going to board number 2, so Columbus struggled a bit in this one. We're going to row number 2. Columbus Aviators here. They struggled a bit defensively. They do give up 10 hits, but 5 runs and 10 hits here. Their offense does not make up for it. They also have 10 hits, but they're only able to bring 3 runs home. So the quality of hits is not as good. Similar to this Tampa Bay game. Tampa Bay, maybe their quality of hits was just better, and it got them that extra run that won them the game. Same with Seattle here. So Columbus, they had a great game 1, but now they need to win game 2. They need to win game 3 after losing game 2 to the Sasquatch. Then we had Oakland and Cincinnati. The Oakland Ocean and the Cincinnati Stingers. Pretty close game here, like a pitching duel. 7 runs for the Stingers, 8 runs for the Ocean. But Oakland, they jump out to a 2-1 lead late, and they ride the wave, and they win it 2-1 over the Cincinnati Stingers, which I mean, both teams struggle with runs, but Cincinnati, that's been their struggles in this series against Ocean in both games. Can't score. And the Ocean lead the series 2-0. They won the series. We'll see if they get the sweep. Listen, sorry that bits of this are race, but it's fine. So the Philadelphia Liberty and the Houston Cosmos, second of the 3-game series. Philadelphia takes the series win here with this win, 6-4 over Houston. We'll see if they get the sweep. Taking a look at this game, it's been an interesting one because 2 errors for the Philadelphia Liberty, 12 hits. So they're struggling defensively, but they're also doing good offensively. And that offense is what gets them. It's a 6 runs, and then Houston's trying to claw back. They don't want to muster a bit. They got 4 runs, 11 hits, but not enough to what? Not enough run games home to win. They're 3 short of a win against the Liberty. Liberty led the series 2-0. They're going to try for the sweep. Well, they led 2-0. They tried for the sweep yesterday. You will see what happened in Game 3 since this is for August 6th, not 7th. So I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I'm gonna do all this before I actually edit anything. So then we're going to Albuquerque and San Diego, second of a 3-game series. I've covered this is the game I covered. So yeah, it's Aliens. They take a 4-0 lead, probably about halfway through, and then at the second half of the game, their entire thing was shut down San Diego. San Diego, to their credit, they did get 2 home runs, one in the 6th and one in the 9th. No, one in the 6th, one in the 8th. And then, yeah, it's one in the 6th and one either in the 8th or the 9th inning. I don't remember which. But it wasn't out anywhere near enough. They couldn't get anything besides solo home runs. 2 solo homers for the Seals. You'll see what happened yesterday in the second video of this I do today. Because yeah, I'm gonna do back to back to back to. I'm gonna do these 2 videos back to back. And let's say the series 1-0 though, with this win 42 over San Diego. Then we're going to Vancouver and Detroit. Second of a 3-game series. Vancouver with another win. They win this one 5-3. Pretty close matchup. They jump LA to a 5-3 lead. And that's what wins in this contest over the Detroit Motors. So the Grizzlies here. I mean, productive hits here. 5 runs, 9 hits. Detroit, less productive. 3 runs, 8 hits. So, 8 hits, but for the Motors, but the runs aren't, not enough runs showed up. And they give up 5 runs out. So, Motors give up some runs, and it pretty much kills them in this game, as they couldn't make any comeback. And they make 2 errors as well, so that... Ooh, sorry about that. That obviously hurts. I just sneezed. And then we're going to Orlando, as Atlanta, second of the 3-game series. I covered Game 3, which will be on the second one of these boards that I do. After this, I'm going to do a 3-game board, I'm going to do another 12-game board, then another 3-game board. So, the Orlando Sunrise, back-to-back wins, and maybe they're on the upturn, you see? They get one, and they blow out Atlanta 11-2 on 50 hits an hour. I tell you, this team is dysfunctional, but they're winning against Atlanta. They won 11-2 on 50 hits in an hour. So one mistake, but they just score runs like it's nobody's business. I mean, the Arrows, they muster 2 runs, but that's it, and that's nothing compared to the Orlando's 11. And they win the game 11-2, and they would. That's a spoiler. That's a spoiler. It was a 2-game set. This is Game 1. You'll see Game 2 in the second video for yesterday's game recaps. Then we had the New York Sailors and the Washington Monuments. Pretty back and forth one. 7 runs and a hit. 7 runs, 14 hits. They do commit 2 errors as well, so it's just a wild game in general. They won 8 as the second, but the Monuments, they're hitting fantastic. They're hitting like crazy, but let's go to this Philadelphia-Houston game, for example. See, the team with more hits wins. This game is not the case. The Sailors, they had very productive hits, like homers, doubles, their hits drove in runs and scored runs. Washington, they only did about half the time, despite having double the amount. And the Sailors, despite having half as many hits, just a little less than, they won it 8-7. Good job of the Sailors. Final game of the spoon, the Chicago Railers and the Portland Anchors. Pretty close game early on, but then the Railers jump out to 7 runs, and then Portland tried to match it, but they only get 5 runs. They only score 5 runs on 8 hits. Chicago, they did a good job, and they defeat the Anchors to tie the series at 1. Good job defensively for the Railers, keeping Portland from tying the game. Series tied at 1 between the Chicago Railers and the Portland Anchors. See you for board number 2. Alright, so here's board number 2. So the Minnesota Northern Lights of the Boston Whalers. Boston Whalers and the Northern Lights here. Second of a 3-game set. Boston, they do get a win here. Some good offense. 5 runs, 11 hits, and they do commit an error. But some good defense paired with some good offense wins them this game. As they just keep the North Lights not completely down, but stunted. And they struggled when they needed the big runs. And the Northern Lights just get throwing some nets. Whalers tie the series at 1 with this win. They are kind of falling apart right now, but this win, it maybe just slows that down a bit. Series tied at 1. Then we head to the Edmonton Eagles and the St. Louis Stars. So the Edmonton Eagles here. 4-3 win over the St. Louis Stars. Eagles lead the series 2 games to nothing. And then the Memphis Blues and the New York Knights. Series tied at 1 there. After this, a big win by the Memphis Blues, just a blowout win. 9 runs, 14 hits, no errors. 1 run, 10 hits, 2 errors for the New York Knights. The Knights had an off day. They didn't really, they got the hits, but they were only able to bring one run home. But they gave up 9 runs on 14 hits. Series tied at 1. It went like the completely opposite direction with this game. And in this game up here, I'm kind of covering both here. The Edmonton Eagles, 4, they just another win. I think they're going to sweep it. I feel like they will. They're going to sweep the St. Louis Stars. The Eagles doesn't look that hard. So that's it for the 6th. Sometime today I'll have August 7th out. See ya.